search parties both within the dungeon and outside the world have long sought the answer to the secret of the 26th floor that vexes both god and mortal alike. Lower floors in the past had similar roadblocks that were reached within the dungeon's walls. However, this instance seemed to have held no solution. A mystery outside the bounds of the norm, and so, with a solution needed, they searched outside of the norm, outside of the dungeon itself. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the Teahouse where tales are told. I will take this time to thank you, the people watching this right now. We sincerely, it's amazing to me, and I can't speak for everyone else. They all probably hate you, and just between me and you, don't trust them. I'm just kidding. They don't know I'm saying this. This little channel, thank you so much for coming and enjoying these tales with us. And so humbly from the bottom of my heart, but not theirs, thank you. And without further ado, if you like the content, leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to let us tell you good, how well we did, or how well we do not good. Thank you for listening. And without further ado, it's time to open up shop. Hello.
Oh,
you all just tuned in now, right?
Yeah, it's really sus that you wanted us to not listen to
What do you
that.
mean? You guys don't need to press that button.
Little birdies told me that you were talking smack about us.
What?
Twitter?
No,
Twitter was
mitigating
behind me.
pigeons. I was headbanging so hard I got dizzy, so I didn't hear you. So that's
I
okay.
had to stop
Thank
halfway
you.
through 'cause I was starting to get a little dizzy, and I was like, I can't keep this up for like the full intro.
I stopped so I could stuff my face with ravioli.
Ooh.
It's, I think, the only valid
But-
reason for most things in the
But
world.
we don't hate you, by the way. Not you, Adrian.
We'll
That's
speak
to
for
be
yourself.
decided, but I'm talking about everyone else.
Oh yeah.
That seemed even more sus. Maybe I was right on the money. By the way, we do not hate you. We are all happy that you are here.
Yes.
Ooh.
Last time, the Deviants defeated the
Sorry,
Infiltrator
I'm
Knight.
incapable of sounding sincere when I am actually sincere.
Thank you all for coming. We are all incredibly stoked about all of this weird world we live in, and we're hoping that we can share a little bit of these stories to make it that little bit lighter. Last time, the Deviants defeated the Infiltrator Knight in grand fashion and rested briefly in the church, taking stock of the area and the statues in the courtyard. That several of them had been noted as Knights Valor, named specifically the Knights of various different animals and the Cavalier. In the courtyard, Jojo and Matilda investigated a symbol in the church house, of a bladed sun that resembled the symbol of Altisha, and they continued into the courtyard of the mansion, where they opened both the sun and moon gates, revealing a golden path towards the manor itself. As they approached the door, revelry heard within. We jump back in. Welcome back to the tale, everybody. Now, as I bring you to a new map, and I make sure that things are not broken in it. You look onwards towards this front door, a gigantic, fine, like 10-foot wide double doorway, outlined in like walnut and mahogany wood, fine filigree along the outsides. You said this is not an ash gate, however, taking a glance towards it. It does not sit ordained with the same runes that ash gates have.
Yeah, Vincent sounded like a sexy woman for a second.
You never know. As Vincent wanders down the thing and the doors open, you said we heard the plays of a party going on inside.
So you have not opened the door yet. You've just strided forward towards the door.
Rated.
But we did hear like laughing and giggling and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Indeed.
Matilda was like, "Ew, it sounds like a party."
Does it sound like a party though?
Sounds with your insight, it sounds like a party.
Maybe
You
we
can
should
hear-
have followed Astrid. Do you think she's gonna show up here?
Perhaps, but here, let me check something out first before we go in.
Okay.
Is there any windows nearby we could peek in?
There are quite a few windows nearby. As you glance, like looking about, you see the same thing as you had seen before as you approach the windows. Looking through them, it's just a fine-looking mansion. You can see finery on the inside, several, like a sitting room off to the side, wooden walls encircling. You see several pieces of furniture outlined in this just vivid golden silk. Sitting rooms, books. You can see on the far end there's several large cabinets covered in flowers and floral imagery. On the far left side of this large room is a fireplace, but you do not see people.
Vincent will come back over. Well, if it's a party in there, I can't tell exactly what's going on. Might as well show up, in the proper attire. Vincent will snap his fingers, and his ship weave will switch into something more suited for like a party, aristocratic one.
As you approach,
local fashions also shifts.
Ooh, so pretty.
As you guys begin to approach the doorway, Vincent, checking out the outer area of the windows, you enter into this area here. And standing on the porch underneath this, several columns astride you, lifting up to carry this very heavy, very ornate, gargoyle-encrusted porch kind of covering. As soon as you enter into the threshold of the home itself, and you look in through the side windows, the finery on the inside shrivels and wilts. As the door itself now stands, you're kind of like bathed in the golden light that shines in towards you. Let me go ahead and fill that in as well here, just so you can give a visual of it. This entire area is filled with golden light. And as you enter into the bounds of the home itself, you can see that that finery just wilts away to destruction. The fallen period.
Yeah, he still probably changes into his party gear. Any excuse.
So should we check it out?
The grounds did get when the golden roads touched tips, it made the area a lot nicer, right?
The ground was excavated. The golden road filled itself in, and then as it touched right in front of the mansion, a golden road that you are now kind of standing in. It's just a pathway of golden light.
Okay, through the mansion.
To the front door of the mansion, which
cool.
is closed before you here.
Feel free to open the doors, Jojo.
Okay. Yeah,
Wait!
Jojo will.
What?
Oh.
Wait! Killian, can you look for traps, please? You don't just open some fancy person's doors.
I can.
They have expensive shit. Well, then look for traps, please.
Well, yeah, it's less
okay.
like the front door is gonna explode. To be honest, that's a little bit. That's not good, I guess. But you should have quite a few bodyguards inside.
I'll also look for traps. Is there something that Killian gets special for having Thieves' Tools proficiency when looking for traps? Or is it just anyone with investigation?
I think
It's not. I thought it was perception to look for traps.
Oh, yeah.
It's perception to look for traps, investigation to look for clues. Some traps may be considered investigation, but for the most part, it's perception. Investigation would be you have found a trap and now you're trying to discern how this one works.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
So
perception in this case, yes. And Thieves' Tools proficiency would typically aid in very particularly tricky traps or ones that have something to do with thievery itself.
Yeah, but we'd have to see it first. Right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, not necessarily, because Thieves' Tools proficiency doesn't just extend into dexterity, it does intelligence. So if you were proficient in Thieves' Tools, you would know where some particular traps would be hidden, kind of thing. But it doesn't apply to every check, it's situational.
I'm used to Killian doing it because she's the one that usually goes to unlock doors. So my apologies.
I did an 18 perception.
As you begin to glance around, you take a look at the doorway. The doorway seemed to have been locked by some kind of very specific magical situation. It doesn't seem trapped to you as you glance around at it. The bottom itself actually has a small lip of this rubbery material that you have never even noticed before. Pressing down on it, it's kind of squishy, and it kind of just covers the seam between the door. There's finery here for sure, even stuff you've never witnessed before. New materials entirely, but no traps as far as you can discern.
Do we think any of the keys that we have would work for this door? It's a magical lock.
Well, we have both the moon and the...
Should we try both?
We try both at the same time.
Okay.
Is by this door being magical. Is it still locked, or did the golden light like take away the weird magic, Adrian?
You guys heard the doorway itself unlock
Oh.
That's
with
what
a
I
with
thought.
a with a loud thunk, and as the
Never
golden light
mind.
kind of pours over it.
Okay. Jojo just opens it.
I don't know if you guys like PS2 action game. You see the camera zoom in, and you hear on the doorway. You move astride and you pop open the door. Selene begins to glance in. You can still hear the revelry all around you. You can hear the sound of dancing, the sound of footsteps. Vincent, you're just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can discern the very dances that they're doing as you guys enter into the threshold of the home.
As we're colliding with the wall when we try to go through.
The doors. Once
The
again.
funnel doors.
Remind me, Mo said that when they walked in, the music stopped, but it's still going for us?
As the doorway opens and you guys look in, the music is still going. As you begin to enter into the room, and you should be good now, the music continues. You can hear the
Oh,
footsteps
okay.
of revelry and dancing. Selene is like, oh, this is the kind of thing I hate the most.
What do you hate? Parties?
Haunted mansions, interiors with only one way out.
Oh, okay.
And
That is pretty
parties.
specific.
Well, I'll make sure to build quite a few exits and entrances so that when you come over and visit mine eventually, you'll enjoy it a bit more.
Your mansion?
Yes, dear.
I see. You can just,
Uh,
like move aside.
Matilda's never been to a fancy party like this, so as she's moving, she's like dancing to the music a little bit, and it's probably, let's see how bad it is.
Jojo's gonna do a magic awareness right here.
With your magic awareness, let me go ahead and take a glance at what you can see from here.
Oh,
You take note. 18. It's actually quite good. You're not entirely certain where the knowledge of this dance is coming from, but as you begin to do like this 3-step dance alongside, it's quite good. Vincent, you even take note of the fact that there's a lot of propriety in her movements.
I should get these, like the statue, these vines, this stairway, this little pit thing, and this little room. I think is all that I see.
You get a 60-foot radius.
Yeah.
Kaboom! You see
Boom,
all
baby.
of this.
I love it when it does that. It's just so ominous.
As
Oh,
you
maybe I
begin,
should go a bit further this way so I can get a bit of the other room. Get to the other wall.
I think there is a world. Okay, so you're there then.
I'll do like a sweeping pass because it lasts for 2 rounds.
Here's what happens then. You can get within your line of sight, not behind total cover, the entire area. As you look around, you can see that there is 2 pieces of second floor that seemed like they at one point connected to a second floor of this home that is just no longer there. As you look up, you can see there's just structure that was once a second floor and several pieces of raised platform over here and over here that is just rubble. There's even
Okay.
large sections of collapsed floor here and like doorways and walls that have been destroyed and knocked down. A few people, even the amount of soldiers that you have seen walking through this city, could not accomplish this. It would take a village to do what has been done here. As you look about, you take note of a few things. 1, there is a faint evocation on the statue, specifically inset in a small plaque at the base. There is
Vincent, be careful with that plaque.
Noted, dear. Thank you.
There is a second evocation spell on the desk off to the side, just underneath. Underneath, you can see this just bearskin rug that has been flattened underneath the weight of it, and you can tell that there is transmutation magic in this corner.
Okay.
As you cast a spell in the area, the sound of the revelry ceases immediately,
Oh.
and you are left in silence.
I see there are books, and Matilda dances her way to the books.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 books. As you reach this small corner here, you may go ahead and roll perception.
Vincent's also going to look over the statue.
Can I guide myself? I'm assuming no.
Yeah, you absolutely may. This can be
Okay.
premeditated. 19. As you glance over the books, the language you do not recognize. As you are looking at the words, you can see that it is written in a scripture, similar to common, but not common. Shares roots as far as you can tell, but not the same. You cannot make out the language. However, there is a lot of books here, and though you have access to like a printing press, like a letterpress, you know that books, especially within your lifetime, have become affordable to people. This is not the case here. The fact that they have this many books in this time period, as you can discern from around you, is a sign of wealth. There's not very many. So it's a sign of either recent wealth or an illusion of wealth, in a way. That is like the lowest you can roll in investigation would grant you that.
I have a question, though. Would I be able to tell which book looks important? Or, like, which book looks like... Because sometimes, like, some books are more embellished than others. Do you know what I mean?
From what you've been able to see here, none of them, particularly.
Okay. How many are there?
Close to a half dozen books.
I'll take all of them.
You scoop up, like, six destroyed books, and you can throw them in your inventory.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make note of that. You can call them books from mansion in village.
Okay.
Or anything akin. Vincent.
He'd like to look over the statue and then down towards the plaque that Jojo was like, "Be careful."
You look down at the plaque. You can see that it is written once again in a strange language. This plaque, as you look towards it, it begins to reform in a way that you understand the meaning, similar to the ones in the courtyard of the cathedral, church house rather. It reads, "The forgotten mother. One day we will be worthy of her face." As you read over the words, you heal. Are you full hit points right now?
Mm-hmm.
You feel a warm light kind of pour over you, and you feel minorly invigorated, and then the magic dissipates from the plaque.
Jojo, I don't think there's anything to necessarily be afraid of. Anything this thing is... It heals your wounds of some sort.
Oh. Okay. Maybe this evocation will also be healing. And she'll like lean down and look at what the source of evocation was over here.
I would say after this kind of like look, you will still have your magic awareness for this instance, and then after this one, it'll fade away.
Oh, if I still have it up for one of them, I think I would have rather gone over to the transmutation to get a better look at that one. So
on the other side, okay.
Yeah.
As you approach, before you reach there, you reach about here.
Okay.
When you take note, you begin to... Oh, I'm sorry, actually. No, you would get to exactly where you were. As you approach, you begin to hear... faint moaning and kind of a whimpering, tearful sorrow.
Okay. And does it sound like it's coming from the same place as the transmutation?
Exactly. And then as you begin to approach, your magic awareness, chaos energy leaves your eyes. We've seen that there's basically like a very large source that is coming from two different locations.
Okay. She'll like look over to the rest of you guys and sort of like gesture like to her ears and point towards the spot.
Vincent will mentally connect with you. What's up, dear?
I hear the crying from over here. I saw some transmutation.
You hear crying?
Yeah, you remember Mo told us that he heard like a weeping woman in here.
I see.
I found her. She's over here.
Vincent will make his way over. And he'll send the information to Matilda and the rest of the party in their minds as well.
I see more books in the corner. Can I go touch them?
On which side are you looking? This little side over here?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she wants to go up here. If Matilda's going to go past where Jojo is, Vincent would probably put an arm out and be like, dear, just wait.
I would have asked before I went there. That's what Matilda was doing out loud.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I thought
killing
you were talking
also
to the
approaches.
DM. Yeah.
No.
Astrid, is that you?
No response. You continue to hear the faint whimpering.
I'm pretty sure that's Astrid's mom.
It's your mom?
The
Yeah.
Forgotten Mother. That's what it said on the plaque
Yeah.
there. But I don't know if that's some sort of god that they're worshiping. If there's anyone there, we might be able to assist you if you come out.
You hear the whimpering cease. And you hear, have you returned to face judgment? You were always such a good girl. Always our favorite. Your footstep
I'm
Towards us?
towards it.
I'm
I
no
can't
one's
hear you,
favorite.
Adrian.
They move towards you.
Okay.
The footsteps continue, and you hear, you will protect the family. Your name will be redeemed. Footsteps continue, and as they leave the sweltering darkness of the corner, they come into light. You see two nobles.
Oh.
You see them pained, their bodies burned badly, as they begin to stride in towards you. They remind you strikingly of the ones that you had seen previously in the courtyard that had shifted into monstrous owlbears. And as they begin to move in, feet kind of just one foot in front of the other, they look towards the lot of you and say, welcome back, our daughter. As their mouths open, you see just this blood begin to pour out that begins to solidify into iron that just slowly pulls out of their gullet and begins to encircle them, solidifying into individual links of chain that wrap around their bodies to the point that it begins to hold them in place. Their arms are bound in this chain as it fills toward the end and almost covers their entire selves, just sitting there agonizing over this. And as finally the chains link together and they tighten to the point that they can barely move, their heads crack backwards, and then from the chains drift gemstones. They begin to hit the ground and bound around them, gold coins amassing from their bodies, out of their mouths, coughing out and sputtering riches until eventually the final coin hits the ground. Their bodies shackled to the point where it just crushes. And as the bones begin to creak, everybody roll initiative.
Oh boy.
This is like your last character's nightmare, Candace. Like, can you imagine if this? Like, Seraphina would have been like, ah!
Part of me was like, oh, are they gonna die now and we get the pressure?
Of course.
You've completed
That's
my
why-
stand there, puzzle.
That's why I had to play a character that buries money this time.
Ooh, 5. What is this? I rolled the net.
Oh boy. Good
I
initiative
did
over
so
here.
good.
I guess I'll roll Killian's.
Oh boy.
The two creatures
Roll the
display
nat one,
themselves to you.
And I'm still going before Matilda.
Can whatever. Can we see a big picture of these creepy enemies, please?
Absolutely.
Are they cane devils?
They look like them. Well, we don't know what those are in character.
I would say Vincent
No!
and Matilda, you can both roll Arcana in this instance.
Does Carson just like creep into Vincent's ear, being like, "I know what."
Carson
I love
appears.
Yeah.
Carson appears visible to all of you and just gives a smirk.
He's like, I know them. They're my cousins. Not kidding.
Jimmy!
Hey, Jed, how you doing, bud?
No,
Oh
God,
boy.
for fuck's sakes.
I
Arcana.
love
Arcana,
it.
you said, Adrian?
Arcana.
Is there anything, Vincent? Because I'm just wondering if there's something else Vincent could roll, maybe like persuasion. Because right around he can like see them. Could he try to persuade Carson into giving him some more information?
Not in this instance.
Okay.
I really want
Yeah.
those books.
16.
As you lean back, Carson's like, "Allow me to elucidate you, master," and begins to speak, and you just put a hand up, just like, don't assume I don't know what these chain devils are already, kind of thing. And as you are fully innately aware of these creatures, with a 16, You know that these creatures are capable of telepathy, and they can use that in ways that you yourself are familiar with to manipulate and to terrify. They also have methods to literally just terrify, ensnare, and chain down their enemies. But not only that, they can deal a bit of a walloping point of damage, and from a little bit of a distance around them. So keep your distance, strengthen your mental fortitude, and that's the best way of dealing with these kinds of creatures. They can also animate chains so that they can also attack you from various different locations. So keep your eye out for chains in the area. With your guys' passive perceptions, and Matilda already having kind of searched, you can see that there are chains here. One that had been fallen from a previous chandelier. And otherwise in the area, I do not think you have spotted any others.
That's some really good info. Does Vincent shout all that out right now?
I think Vincent, there's another one over here.
But they are separate. Oh, sorry.
Vincent just looks towards these two beings and then kind of like goes to turn around like, oh, this isn't where the party is. Basically take a step back. Jojo dear and Matilda, Celine, Killian, you might want to take a step back though. Jojo, maybe you can be a bit of a, meat shield as usual.
So I don't go back, I stay close?
Yeah.
The chains will hurt. They can control any chains in the area, and they can get in your head.
Well, that might be a problem.
And that might be a problem. Initiative begins. Jojo, you're up.
I think Jojo's going to... Is this a pit?
That is a large, destroyed fireplace.
Okay, I thought it was a pit and I was about to do some shoves. But in that case, I did not go there. I just, I'm gonna just attack this one, I guess. Wait. They're made of chains, right?
They're covered in chains.
No, I'll do a,
What? Oh, hold on.
sorry, I had the wrong push to talk. I do a rage, I'm a barbarian.
I'm gonna do a rage.
Oh, it says I ran out, but it's because I accidentally tried to do it too many times, and...
You should just be able to hit the do not use the charge.
Normal.
Beautiful.
Apply active effect. And now do the surge thing. Which
You're
one
so
do I get?
raging. Oh my god.
Yes! Ah! Radiant beam just comes right towards this one. So that is I need a constitution saving throw from them.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
What is the DC on that?
It is based on my con, I believe. I believe it's a 14, but let me just double check. It's a 15.
They just fail.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the chaos magic, it sort of bursts out of her shoulder. Now that her tattoo is bigger, the burst is bigger, and it sort of is more towards the shoulder rather than in the back. And it gets consumed by this radiant light and turns into a star that Jojo once again grabs, stumps into her mouth, and then just right towards the guy. And you said they failed?
They failed.
That is 1d6 radiant, which is 4 radiant, and they are blinded until the start of their next turn.
You blast this creature with your mouth beam. They are currently blinded.
Great, and I will attack it, and I don't need to do recklessly because I should have advantage anyway.
That is correct.
Awesome sauce. Advantage. That's double 7s, my dude. Chain Devil is hit. Oh, you need a reaction, huh?
As you look towards the creature, and you see the face begin to distort as the chains begin to tighten, and you can see bones begin to shift and crack, and the chains lift away. You see the face of your mother as it stares towards you, and the eyes just look down at you. Go ahead and roll for me a wisdom saving throw.
Let's go. 10.
10. You are frightened. As you bring your blade up and you begin to carry it down, the face of your mother terrifies you to no end. So you have... This happens as you attack, so your attack goes off first, and now you're frightened.
Okay. Attack goes off. It's versatile. That is 17 damage. Damn.
Goodness.
So the second attack is just normal then, huh? Because I'm frightened.
The second attack, as you become frightened, you know that you can break line of sight by the end of your turn, so you can attack here. You will be at disadvantage on the attack roll, so it's a straight roll.
Okay.
Yes, and then you will basically need to flee to break line of sight with the source of your fear.
I will do that. Attack normal. That's right. That's 17 to hit. That hits.
17 hits.
Normal. That's 12.
12 damage. The creature is heinously bloodied after your series of attacks.
Oh. Ah. Oh no, I went towards chains. Fuck. I did do that, didn't I? Is this breaking line of sight? Can I see through this?
No, you should not be able to.
Oh. I should not be able to see through that?
No, here go. Let me go ahead and change that wall type.
Sorry. I'm gonna go back to where I was then, so that I can figure out where my movement should be, because I thought I could break line of sight from there.
You can. I just changed the wall type, so it should appropriate your vision now.
Okay. I see now. There, I go right in the chain.
240 feet. Running back and forth, hitting Vincent, circling around and spinning like eventually you land directly on the small chain. As you step down, the links kind of begin to crinkle, and you stare down at the serpent-like chain at your feet. Matilda, you had your hand raised. No. Matilda, you had your hand raised.
I have a question. Did we notice if Radiant was more ouchy?
It didn't seem to do more or less.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you guys just see Jojo run away being like, Mom, don't stab me again.
Matilda is just going to have a field day with this.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
At the end of your turn, Killian is up.
Okay, I think Killian assessing the situation. Where's Bladebeak?
Thank you. Let me bring Bladebeak in. I was like, I got everybody, right?
Bladebeak was like, nah.
Bladebeak comes in like an ordnance strike through the roof and lands on the floor underneath.
Okay. Looking around, Killian doesn't see any chains in the immediate area, just with passive, right? Aside from this one?
That is correct.
Okay. She is going to run over here. And level her gun and take a shot at this one. Oh. But for some reason it says she has advantage. Oh, it's blinded.
Blinded, yeah.
Nice.
There's also a time in this campaign where the bloodied condition accidentally gave you advantage and disadvantage at the same time. 25 to hit. 8 points of damage. Leveling the gun, you let loose. Flying in, it slams into the face of the devil and just tears the vast majority of its head apart, but the chains kind of just bring the head back into place. There's most of a head missing. This thing's probably not going to survive much longer, guys.
Again.
Cannot use that. 20 to hit. Hits. You hit the other side of the head and take it completely off as the devil is just dropped to the ground and the chains loosen.
Okay. Bonus action, I can't control Bladebeak, but like Bladebeak will go here.
Running across the debris and landing in front of the devil.
And take an attack. I can't control that against this dude with its I can't remember what that attack is called.
So, force empowered rend. You're going to want to roll a d20 plus 7 plus 1 plus 8.
So a d20
plus 8.
$11 to hit.
11 does not hit. Just leans against the chains.
Okay. stay there then. And that is Gillian's turn.
Right, the chain devil begins its round. Looking on towards you, the chain devil opens its mouth and you see one of the gemstones kind of just slowly leak out, and the hand kind of rides underneath the chains until it grabs onto it. It just breaks its own kind of forearm to bring the gemstone up, and as it hovers the gemstone up above, it is going to first move with, like, reckless abandon, not really caring who it's moving past or through. Vincent and Bladebeak can get an attack of opportunity. Bladebeak will once
I
again.
thought you
1d20.
ignored Matilda because she was so weak. You're like, Matilda can't do shit. But they didn't move out of my line of hitting. So
Yeah, that one is the reason.
Yay!
20. Oh, natural 20. Go ahead and
for
roll that
Bladebeak.
damage.
What's Bladebeak's damage?
That is 1d8 plus 4. So that's a minimum of 12 points of damage.
Max
Very
damage,
nice.
20.
20 points of damage.
Or
Carved across this creature, and just tearing through the chains. You see them loosen and then just immediately attempt to close those by just molten metal that begins to weld itself shut. As it runs, it lets loose this terrifying scream, but is not yet bloodied. And Vincent, what was your attack?
Does Vincent feel like the attacks that this thing would do would be more like they come up and they hit him with the chains, or would it be like he has to roll out of the way to avoid the chains?
If you're trying to ask whether or not it would be a save or an attack roll, I don't think your character would be aware of that.
Okay. I'll hit it with my rapier then. Actually, I'll, in the back of my head, summon Carson, and he'll do that. But we'll see. Yeah, who's Carson?
Carson pulls out the rapier quickly enough and goes for the stab, but the chain devil gets out of the way, and he looks towards you with a bit of frustration as his hair falls in front of his face, and is like, more time next time.
Vincent just looks at him and tilts his head, expectingly.
He hands the rapier back to you. He kind of like wipes it off anyway, and then hands it back to you with both hands.
I love the character choice. Whenever you fail a roll, you just like, no, that wasn't me.
Carson did it. The chain devil moves its way in, raises the gemstone aloft. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I was right.
That's the one I can see.
You can see it, yes.
Wisdom save. I love me.
Shouldn't she not be frightened anymore because the one died?
What is dead?
Yeah, one of them died. The one that made you see your mom's face.
No, the frighten lasts until you succeed on it. There's nothing here that says that it would disappear when they die.
Tight.
I think if you take a note, if you see that they're dead, I feel like the frighten should end at that moment. But JoJo, just a second ago, did not notice. I'll make that ruling. If it's not like a magical persuasion frighten, then if you know the creature's dead, then you're probably not scared anymore. That will not go away.
Unless it's like it's a spider that you see, and then you're like, wait, where'd that spider just go?
I was picturing you walking up and like kicking the corpse, being like, "Do you think it's gone?"
But it would be ashed away, right? So it's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh God, where is it?
Indisputable. However, with these saving throws, Selene stares at the gemstone. I don't have your guys' saving throws. Wisdom
mine's
save.
a 4.
Matilda got a 21, I got a 19, Killing got a 13, JoJo got a 4.
Here, let me refresh my screen real quick. Goodbye, all of my tabs.
Oh, I think I know what spell this is.
Pretty sure Killian and JoJo probably failed. That's a guess, but probably a safe
I'm a
assumption.
wager. I take that bet.
Did you pass?
No. I guess it doesn't work when I bet the same thing you bet.
I'll take that bet on your side. We're both gonna win.
I always get confused by that saying.
Here, I'm going to... Yeah, I have to refresh my page. It doesn't seem to be updating.
Oh,
there we go.
Nice. But I don't know how that would work. We just trade each other gold and we're back where we started from.
Wait, who owes us money? We were both right.
To be fair, now you have each other's gold, and that means something.
Does it though?
Yeah, it's friendship and also maybe greed or hatred or camaraderie or any number of good or bad things.
You guys should kiss now.
Yeah, and then they kissed. Vincent, you succeed the saving throw. Paltry gemstone is nothing to you. Killian and Jojo, Selene, and I don't. Paka, no, is standing off to the side. He actually, kind of just late to the party, has just begun to run into this location. He was kind of exploring up in the floors. Bladebeak is not immune to this kind of thing.
Oh, okay. But we've established Bladebeak doesn't really have a mind. It just follows Killian's commands, and that's it.
That's true. And I think with all the downsides that also come with that, I want there to be upsides too. I'll say Bladebeak is immune to this, to this effect. As the Chain Devil raises this gemstone aloft. All of you can take no actions on your turn, except for Vincent, but approach and stare greedily at the gemstone. Matilda, you succeeded?
I got a 21.
Matilda, you succeeded. That is a beautiful roll. The two of you may act as normal. The rest of you can do nothing on your turn but walk up to the gem and stare at it greedily. Those of you who have succeeded, as you all look onwards towards this thing, it is going to examine you all and see which one of you have failed. If any of you would like to try and make it seem, you can see that other people are visibly enthralled. Their minds drop, like Jojo on the other side. Vincent, you can see she just begins to lower her weapon and begins to stare slack-jawed. Same with Selene, same with Killian. If you want to attempt to make it seem like you are also enthralled, you may.
You immediately run away from it and now want to go give it a hug.
Do you want us to roll deception or performance?
This would be deception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vincent just gave away the...
Well, he doesn't care. Yeah, he gave away the fact that he's not enthralled.
Matilda, it does not. It looks towards you and scans your face. It looks towards Vincent and will indeed target Vincent. Vincent, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, considering that Matilda got fucked up by a sphere with the last enemy, she's like, I'm gonna make it look like I'm not a threat.
Good.
20.
You feel a spike of energy move in towards your mind, as this kind of you hear this faint whisper. But again, familiar with this kind of thing, you just force it out. And get out of here. Get out of here, Chain Devil! I don't want none of you shenanigans. Selene approaches the Chain Devil and stares longingly at the gemstone. And Vincent, you are up.
Vincent will look towards this thing. Does he take any damage, or he just feels like this mental intrusion, then it leaves?
It's nothing. Nothing has happened to you this way.
He looks towards the thing. The Chain Devil thing that it is. This is rude. Should ask before entering. Also, two can play at this game. Vincent, move over here. I need it to roll a wisdom save, but right after he applies his... Oh, not bardic inspiration. In sibling words. I do not wish to inspire this thing. That's better.
Unsettling words.
I need it to roll a wisdom saving throw. -5 to its roll.
-5?
15.
It just rolled a 15 with a -5. So in this instance, it succeeds.
So it rolled a 20?
It did. You guys act as though you're the only ones who can do that.
No, I know. It's just, it sucks. That was a 3rd level Dissonant Whispers, so he takes half of 16 damage.
8 points of damage. The Chain Devil is now bloody. As its mind spikes, you see just blood explode out and the chains go that rust-colored red and just tighten to make sure the body remains in place.
Parker, dear, you're still there. Get behind cover. Make sure you don't make eye contact with it.
Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this one. Paka turns to jump behind the couch, like, huh?
Please grab Matilda on your way out.
You see him
Seems to be
math memeing
enthralled
the
as well.
position.
Actually, would Vince's passive insight know that she's faking this? What did she roll for her?
You would, with your passive insight, you would not.
Okay. So yeah, he thinks you're enthralled and you're the most one at risk. So.
Vincent, at the end of your turn, Matilda, you were up.
Oh, can't hear you.
Sorry, I will look at the gem, but then I'll like smirk, and then I'll hold up an itty bitty, like point blank. I know that this makes it disadvantage, but the idea is really cool in my head.
You kind of have advantage because you get to shoot off 2 of them.
Yeah, so itty bitty attack disadvantage.
I'm going to use this method actually in the way that it was originally intended to be used, which is at the beginning of your turn, as you stare at the creature, go ahead and roll for me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Don't know how much this will even matter, but as you stare at the face, the head kind of whips around, just shatters and cracks, and then as the chains continue to contort and distort the face and lift away once more, you see the face. A face that you don't recognize. It's a female face. One that is so incredibly familiar in your memory, but not something that you recall in full. But as you stare at this face, it has a visceral reaction, and you are frightened.
Do I get to do my itty bitty though?
You do. You can break line of sight in this round, so you look back and you see a safe space, you kind of like begin to back away, and you boom, boom. Your first shot, because you are frightened here, will be at disadvantage. So 16.
It was already
Exactly.
a disadvantage.
So 16 hits.
Right, and then you want me to take a step back?
So you need to, you can fire off both of these in part of the Eldritch Blast action, and then you need to break line of sight before the end of the round.
Okay.
Which you can do here with your current movement.
Does a 20 hit?
20 hits. Also 12 points of force damage for the first one. And then 11 for the second one. As you begin to back up, you're like, no, whatever this is. Tell me what happens.
I'm like, who the fuck is, like, Matilda's like, huh? Who even is that? Why am I so afraid of them? And it's just like, as they like back up over here.
You loose the 2 blasts and then don't even stop to look as the creature is just exploded from the front to the back. Pieces and chunks fly away and ash begins to flitter. Jojo, you have seen Matilda's die. Matilda, you have seen Jojo's die, but the 2 of you now stand on opposite ends of this fireplace, scared of the other side.
That's funny.
As the combat comes to a close. And as the gemstone hits the ground,
like,
Selene snaps out of it.
Yeah, Vincent turns to Selene and be like, well, I'm glad you're back. Do you mind going comforting Matilda? And I'll try and calm down Jojo.
Yeah, she reaches down and she grabs the gem and pockets it, and then goes over towards Jojo.
That was the opposite of what Vincent said, but...
What? Oh, okay. She reaches the gemstone out and is like holding it now in position as she reaches towards you and places her hand on your shoulder, Jojo. It's okay.
Okay.
You good? You good, right?
I mean, she's just like leaned up against the wall, like looking around the corner a little bit.
What are you
my
looking
mom's
at?
still over there?
You probably no.
Are you sure?
Yep. Just a corpse in chains. And she like reaches over and begins to kick the other chain devil that's laying there and is slowly flittering away. She looks
Okay.
at the face. She's like, no, it's kind of just like a thing.
I told you, Diaz, they get in your head.
Also, I don't really know your mom.
You met her.
So, like, I
You
know,
said
but
she was hot.
it takes me a long time to, like, I barely, if I saw another orc on the street, I'd think, that's not Jojo. We've known each other long enough. But, you know, maybe after, like, after 40 seconds of knowing a person, it gets a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm glad we had this talk. Do you want this gemstone? I feel like it's actually a bad thing for me to have it. If not, that's fine. She puts it back in her shirt.
Yeah, you can have it.
Matilda, dear, are you okay?
When Vincent goes over to see Matilda, like she's like shaking because she's like scared, but her face looks like really annoyed and confused at the same time. Like she's just like really irritated that she's scared, and she doesn't know why she's scared because that face didn't look familiar. Who the heck was that? Why am I so scared of them?
I'm not sure, dear. But if you like, we can break more plates once we get back home and deal with it. I might even be able to arrange for something really expensive.
Vincent,
Uh-huh.
can you hug me really, really hard?
Vincent, without a word, just walks over her and does this.
And Matilda keeps telling you to go tighter and tighter until she stops shaking. And then she
He
stops.
does.
Thanks.
Don't mention it, dear.
From that wonderful display there, everybody gains a point of inspiration.
Jojo doesn't even know what's going on. You just like peek over the corner and you see this hug and you're just like
Oh, I'm so inspired.
Salone's like, I didn't see it. What is it? Was it inspiring?
Yeah, it was pretty inspiring.
Paka's like tear across his eyes. Like, yeah.
I didn't even hear Vincent say that she had to pay for it. It's so sweet.
Selene gets immediately angry.
That was the inspiring part, was that Matilda didn't have to pay.
Hey.
You see the bodies of the two fallen begin to flitter away. Everybody roll a D100. In fact, go ahead and roll 2 of them.
I feel like we're slightly over-leveled for this area. This is my personal opinion. We can also use our new inspirational. These aren't horrible.
Oh, ew!
I rolled pretty good on both of those.
Oh, Matilda rolled an 80 and then a 14? Are we supposed to roll 2?
Yeah,
you get 2, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration again. Fuck that. I want a 14.
Oh, I rolled a 3, man. That's cool.
3 gold.
That's better.
Each of you gains gold equivalent to their first D100 roll. So, Jojo, you gain 73 gold. Vincent, you gain 47. Matilda, you gain 80. And do you want to roll 2 for Killian as well, Vincent?
Sure.
And then Matilda, you rolled 3. Oh, you used your inspiration. That's right. Let me do it this way.
Killian got a 75 and a 1.
Okay, so Killian
No.
gains 75 gold pieces.
You're gonna have to add that to kill. I'll just write it down, I guess.
Thank you. And in your second rolls, Jojo, with a 66, you gain a length of chain. A length of chain apparates in your hands, and you can see that the chains themselves are made of solid gold, and they are gem encrusted.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yay.
The chains themselves, as far as you can determine, are worth probably about 100 gold pieces, just in this length of 10
You can
links.
bear those, dear.
That's true. Yeah,
Baka's like, chain tree.
Chain tree.
Vincent, you also gain a length of chain. The same, like 10 links, each worth probably about 100 gold for the entire length.
How long is it?
The chain, it's no more than a couple feet, 10 links of chain. Relatively large, made of solid gold with gems encrusted.
Yeah, still useful in your profession.
Puts it in his bag.
Yeah, does anyone want to give Vincent, those chains could form a longer chain?
Lawson, dear, put these into Packer's bag, please.
Chains. Like, he just kind of apparates out of the darkness and folds them, and he's just like, these chain devils have some taste. Albeit gaudy. And he puts that in Paka's bag, and Paka's like, don't. Okay. Now you can do it.
Paka, what about those passwords you were supposed to give to us?
Oh, I did. It's, You can see he's literally trying to make it up on the spot. Whether or not they're actually passwords, you're not entirely certain at this
In the back of Paka's head, Vincent's just gonna whisper, "Cupcake."
Cupcake. It was my horse back home.
You had a horse?
I'm digging myself a hole that I can't climb out of, and he just runs away.
Creatures
No.
capable of love.
As Paka flees in terror, Killian's
Himself.
second. Matilda. Vincent, you gain the length of chain. Jojo, you gain the length of chain. Matilda, a ring apparates in your hand. Let me go ahead and pop this up. So it was not actually a ring; it was a pendant. You gain the Lord's pendant, which has been added to. Which has been added to D&D Beyond. With the pendant in hand, you hear just a brief, almost synopsis, not so much a message, but it is a pendant held by a village leader of Somme. This pendant was worth more than his station. Once per short rest, you can use the pendant to change the number of a rolled damage die to the maximum damage for the dice. So if you roll a d10 for your Eldritch Blast, once per short rest, you can make that just a 10 flat damage. And that's after you roll the dice as well. So if you roll a 1, you can pop it into a 10 instead. It requires attunement. And as the pendant lands in your hand, it's an ornate pendant, has two wings flittering off to one side, one blue, one gold, and sits with a ruby gemstone in the center. You all find yourselves within this home. Killian, a golden link of chain hand lands in their hand, and I think their mind probably reels with what they could use to smith that out of. I picture personally just that chain hung onto Bladebeak's, like, just around the neck.
Yeah.
Got this massive gold chain with
so
gemstones.
Cool. Did we do what Selene got?
Selene, thank you. 2d100.
And Paka, he was here this time.
Paka was here. He did not engage in the combat.
No.
He ran away once and he was scared the next time. So, did Selene engage in the combat? She didn't. Yeah, they both. I'm considering them both as being here. I'm gonna roll for Paka as well. Paka regains all his spent sorcery points.
Whoa.
Wait, that doesn't have to do with this.
No, I know. So 2d100. Selene gained a 48 and a 24. Selene gains 2 lengths of chain worth 100 gold pieces.
Okay.
I thought the first roll was just for the gold. You gain gold equal to that amount.
You are right. Thank you. So she gains 48 gold and then 1 length of chain. Let me mark this on her cherished sheet.
Paka rolls 100, he gets a crown.
Oh, I would love that for him.
God, yeah, that'd be so great. Monty just came in here, knocked over a box, and scared the hell out of himself. He was like, ah!
Yeah, Paka could
That's
be
what
our
they
short.
do sometimes.
He'll be our short king who gets a crown.
Aw.
That would be very cute.
I can just imagine you being like, oh, we love a short king, and then Paka's like, I'm 6 foot.
What do you mean? I've always been 8'6". It's just very lanky. You've always viewed me from above. And then, so that is Selene's. Paka gains 94 gold pieces.
Oh, damn.
Woo!
And then a length of chain.
Well, is that it for here? Or
Hang on, I want to check out, there's an evocation thing over here.
do you think any of these items that we collected would be what Astrid would want? Maybe that pendant with the gods.
I'm gonna doubt it. I'm gonna lean down over here and search this area.
You move over towards the desk. How do you search? What do you do?
She like goes on her belly and sort of like lifts up the bear mat and like moves it around.
As
looking
you
for magical sigils and stuff.
you go ahead and roll perception for me.
This is a evocation trap. Oh, could Gambit help in this situation?
Yes.
That's a 15.
15. You do not spot anything of the sort. As you are looking around in the desk, nothing seems out of the ordinary to you. To the best of your ability in searching.
I like turn under and like.
That you
look
did
under
that.
the desk.
All
Oh,
of
I
your
did that
searching
as-
through the area
okay.
was that one check. This is the
Cool.
accumulation of your best efforts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where it went.
Books.
Books. As you approach, there are more desiccated books in a language that you do not know. You gain 2 more.
Do they look like I could fix them? Or are they way too desiccated?
If you were to get like someone who bound books to attempt to fix these, it would be quite the ordeal, but possible.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent's gonna go into the middle of the room and just kind of like close his eyes and concentrate for a second. If this is Astrid's home and those were her parents, is what we're all assuming, would there be anything here that she would hide, that she would want from here? He's just trying. He's pulling an actor's thing where he wants to get into the role of the character.
You can roll investigation with advantage or insight. Because actually, you have both. Now you're trying to use performance as well, which is pretty. You can roll insight with advantage or performance with advantage. That's pretty awesome.
It was like dangling on a net 20, but 19.
19. As you begin to scour this room, and the words of the individual, or the 2 individuals before transforming and being crushed under the weight of their own chains, the looking onwards towards this entire area, it doesn't seem to you like Astrid would have any location here that you would enjoy. This place, even with the nature of everything around it, feels cold to you. If you were Astrid in this moment, you would definitely
have a secret area you run off to and hide, somewhere to be your own.
The only place that seems to you like it would be of any kind of value is the only thing here that doesn't seem gilded. The statue in front of you that lies in ruins. As you glance around, everything here, solid marble flooring, that like brilliant, beautiful carpets, torn asunder. Even the ground underneath your feet as you stomp down on it must be worth a fortune. But this statue, humble stone.
Is there anything? It's broken. It's knocked over the floor. Is there anything? Any secret compartments in it?
Yeah. That's what Matilda was gonna look.
Matilda, would you have reason to search? I guess Vincent's searching, so that makes sense. So both of you may go ahead and roll. In this instance, because you're looking for clues, you may roll investigation.
And Matilda's kind of looking if there's any like hidden compartments, like false things in the floor, on the statue, like anywhere that looks like it would be like a smart place to hide thing. Can I guide myself?
You may. Is guidance enchantment? Because that would be fun.
I don't.
No, enchantment spells affect the mind for the most part. Guidance is divination, which absolutely makes sense. Oh, both of you rolled a 20. As you begin to scour the statue, you take note that the statue itself is of a angelic female, as far as you can tell, wielding a large sword, or at least it was. The handle is the only thing that remains. The blade is missing. You can see that as it holds onto this blade in hand, collapsed down, the face is just blank. There's nothing there. And as you guys begin to approach and you take a look, you actually kind of like reach up and you grab onto the top of the head and remove that mask almost per se. And as you pull it away, you can see that there is a small compartment on the inside. Within, you find a brand new handkerchief.
Oh, like a favor, like one of those things you give like as a gift. Is it monogrammed or anything?
Yeah, Vincent will look it over for anything.
As you were looking at it, it seems incredibly well taken care of, but most definitely not. It's not rich. It's not blue blood, you know, or it's not high society. As you look at it, it's humble. It's simple. A handkerchief to wipe the sweat away from a working class person, but it is kept here within this safe place as though revered.
Is it a certain color, or like is it just like a rag?
It's like cotton, loose cotton.
White.
Indeed. Well tended.
It's supposed to be white, but it's not anymore. I'm assuming.
Faintly yellowed.
It seems like it's probably it, right?
Perhaps. I wonder if there's any way we can get a little bit more information on it. Hmm. Does anyone have any way to gain information from an item? Some sort of spell or ability?
Can't Killian identify it?
I don't think Killian has the spell slots remaining.
She has a single one left, but identify as a ritual. She could do it over.
Oh, that's true. What am I
10
doing?
minutes.
If you guys want to spend the 10 minutes here, Killian can attempt to identify this.
I think we should be safe for the most part. Just be on the lookout, and we'll spend the next 10 minutes here.
Okay.
I'll hand the handkerchief over to Killian.
While Killian's doing that as a ritual, would Jojo be allowed to do a detect magic as a ritual in this room again and see if you can get a better look for that evocation and see if it's actually like gone?
Here's what I'll say. Repeated checks are tricky. With the addition of detect magic, and you have help on this one, you may roll another perception check in order to attempt to find the source. You don't have disadvantage because detect magic will give you advantage on this, basically.
Okay. So it's straight or it's advantage?
Straight roll.
Oh, much better. 22.
19. Beautiful. From what you had seen before, there's like the faintest bit of a little spark. As you begin to approach the desk, you can see the evocation magic is set at the... It's like a little bit of a lining along the very bottom drawer of the desk that is now resting on top of this bearskin rug. And as you look at it, you can just see the energy pouring off of it. The entire bottom lining of the bottom drawer of this desk is enchanted with evocation.
Like it's a trap?
It seems trapped.
Cool. This is trapped. Do we want to... Matilda, do you think we want to set this off or something?
I think she's been pinging the book for 5 minutes now.
Oh, okay.
Give me that book. I want that book. As you look over towards Matilda and you ask if you should, like, how stealthily or carefully you should approach this, Matilda goes and grabs a book off the other desk. You get one book. This one is just destroyed. There's
books and papers, just like...
You scoop up some, like, charred paper. But for the most part, you might be able to turn this to, like, ash. This book is not usable. It's just shredded.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. I'll go over to Jojo. Should we set it off from a distance? I can use my mage hand.
I think I'm going to try and do my good old scratchy. The very high-tech magical maneuver.
Yes.
That is scratchy. So maybe stand back.
Yeah, Matilda's like,
Jojo takes out a hatchet and is like, maybe not this one. She pulls out a very shiny Jaeger hatchet. You have a dagger? Actually, no, I got my... No, I don't want to use that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You have a weapon you don't care about? I like all my weapons.
I have like 3 daggers that I never use.
Okay, give me one.
Daggers.
Toss it.
Oh, I chuck the dagger.
Make a ranged attack roll. Meanwhile, as you throw the dagger and it flies through the air, the identify goes off and Killian says, "It's not magical."
Is that all your identify can glean from it?
It's magically, yes. Otherwise, it's kind of sweaty. They hand it back to you.
That's unfortunate. I was hoping we could glean something a little bit more. It's hard to know who the owner of this was and how they would have wished to presented it to her if it is the item we are supposed to do.
With a 7, you're just like, here's my dagger. And it just lands in the desk next to Jojo.
Thanks.
Roll Arcana.
You guys blow up? Gambit's gonna help me with Arcana.
Gambit like pulls one tentacle and forms glasses over its face and begins to just point out different portions of the area.
Is that your dagger now forever?
I mean, you can have it back.
No, you can have it. I just want to delete it off my
character.
Okay.
With a 23, you know that there is no like particular runic sequence that is here. There seems to be magic cast, but not not solidly binding it to this location. It is simply enchanted via spell somehow.
So there's like nothing to scratch out to stop it. It's just set and ready to go.
I think here's what, with your previous detect magic, you would know the spell that's also active on the thing. So the spell that is active on this desk drawer is Immolate. A high level fire spell. So you discern that it's not about immolating you, but immolating the desk.
Yeah. If I pull it out real fast.
I like how you
Probably
think.
not, right? Probably not.
What is the trigger though? We can bypass that.
Oh, it's probably just moving it, right?
If we can find some way to get, is it keeping someone out? Because the desk is pretty, split in half on the ground.
Do you think I can maybe get into the drawer from like the inside?
I don't think you could, but if someone has some sort of magic, that might be,
You don't know dispel magic, right?
I can remove
Not yet,
curse.
I don't think it's a curse.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna. I sort of want to just grab it and run, but I feel like that's pretty dumb.
I mean, I could heal you.
Hey,
I don't
Baka,
think that's the issue. I think we'd lose whatever's in there.
Baka, you want to jump into this crack and see if you don't maybe not. If you jump in there, get immolated, that would suck.
Hold on, Diaz. Let me try something.
What about
Okay.
a flamth?
I could. Oh, hey, Gambit.
Hold on, wait. Vincent wanted to try something. Just wait.
Okay.
Is there any cracks or any the desk from the picture here looks like it's cracked right in half? Where exactly on the desk are we trying to get into? Is it like a drawer? Is it what's being blocked basically?
It's collapsed down on itself, and there's a bottom left drawer that is like resting against the ground. That seems to be enchanted. Right in the spot I have marked.
Killian, a part of your thieves kit, does it come with any extended I've seen them before. They're tiny little mirrors on sticks that you can stick into things to see inside of them. Do we have any of those?
Oh, I'm gonna roll a fate test. It seems like something that's reasonable. Killian rather, she reaches down into her thieves kit and begins to pull out. She has a mirrored, kind of like small lockpick that they pull out and they look at and they're like, this might work. And they hand that to you. It's a file rather, not a lockpick.
Could he use it to if there's any small openings in the desk area, because it looks old and worn and kind of tilted on its side, put that small little thing in just to get it and use its reflection to be able to see if there's anything in there first, without setting anything off or moving anything?
It doesn't seem like it. Like the desk drawer itself, the one in question, is actually relatively intact. And probably because it was protected based on the amount of destruction that's happened around this place.
Okay. If that is the case, if you want, I can get my unseen servant to go grab it for us, just so we don't necessarily have to put anyone at risk.
Are they fast?
They're as fast as I guess my magical capabilities are holding them.
I'm not slow. I feel like I might want to do it. I really want to get what's out of there. Immolate's a pretty good spell though, huh?
I have a question though. Like when Jojo was looking at the outline of it magically, does it look like there's any way that we could game this spell where if we just took the top of the desk off, we could see what's in there? Is it just because it depends on the parameters or the boundaries of the spell. If it's just the inside of the drawer but doesn't include the top of the drawer, we could dissect the desk.
Oh.
So we could look at the look without disturbing the drawer.
Can I ask you, this spell is on the drawer or on the desk?
It's actually it is. Typically, you do this kind of thing when you want to enchant multiple portions of something, but it seemed like the bottom lining of this desk drawer it's actually immolation rather, but it was enchanted with the ability to immolate within some trigger, and then was nailed to the bottom of the desk drawer.
And it's not necessarily to hurt the person outside, it's to destroy the contents of whatever's in the drawer, it seems like.
It seems like it, based on the way it's enchanted and the fact that it's facing.
I don't mind setting this trap off, Jojo, and you can feel free to do it as you wish. I have an idea to protect the contents of the container, though.
What is that?
I could pour some water in there and encase it in water or ice. Am I protected against the fire magic that would go off?
It's
Yeah,
not bad.
that makes sense. And then we could amend it.
But if it's writing, the mending will just make it disappear.
Matilda, also roll investigation for your previous query.
Matilda,
Mending does
gaming
not-
the system.
Mending does not actually get rid of writing that is like ink. It gets rid of etchings that would be in
Oh,
stone
okay.
because it gets rid of
May-
doesn't get rid of all imperfections. It gets rid of breaks and tears.
May I guide myself?
You may actually let me check mending.
So it's bottom of the drawer. So if I cast catapult on this drawer and like blast it out, the
I feel
spell
like
is
the
gonna go with
contents
it.
would be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, a break or tear is all it heals.
Darn.
So it does not get rid of writing on things. Investigation 11. Looking at it,
Yeah.
based on how the desk itself was destroyed, there doesn't seem to be particular attention placed on this desk. So like, it doesn't look like people were here trying to search whatever was in this drawer. So it's possible. You have no idea how you would go about it. The whole desk
Yeah.
seems to almost be made of a single piece of carved wood.
Mm.
Very expensive. And excellent.
Paka dear, do you want to bring me over my water skin?
Paka shrunk for fun, but he's back now. He pulls out your water skin and hands it to you.
Okay. As just tilt it over, and as the water starts to pour out, he'll shape water. He'll have like a globe, of, pretty big one. You can have up to a 10-foot or a 5 by 5 foot like square full of water if he wanted to, but he won't take that much. Just enough to like fill a jar, a little bit less than a drawer.
Yeah.
And he'll start to like be using JoJo's like what she could see before. He'll try to like not do anything to trigger this, but try and get the water into the desk, and then he'll freeze it, and then we can set it off.
So as you slip the water in, the trap does not spring. Magic remains stable. You are not surrounded by hellfire. And as it slides in and you solidify it, first you hear some metallic clinking on the inside of the desk. But for the most part, it sounds somewhat hollow. And then you solidify it and you freeze it, and pretty much the entire desk drawer is encased. You see the ice shatter and begin to just crack on the outside as you've filled the entire thing with frozen water.
He'll step back because he can keep casting this from 30 feet away. I'll try and keep it up. I'll keep it as frozen as I can. Someone set it off.
Yeah, everybody moves away at this instance. Killian's like
Okay.
on the other side, Paka's on the other side, and then everybody begins to watch, and nothing happens.
Jojo, can I cast it? Does I have to see it? I think I have to see it.
You got
An object.
firebolt, don't you?
A straight line. Actually, it doesn't say that. Okay. Jojo cast catapult.
On Matilda? Oh, okay.
No, on the drawer.
Because like I could also use my mage hand.
Here's what I think, just as an idea. If something goes wrong with this, hold catapult to launch this thing the fuck away from you guys. So that's like sitting there just almost like a rubber band spell in your hand. You're holding it back as the energy, like the gravity's trying to pull your hand forward.
Yeah, it's very like Doctor Strange, where these like sigils in her hand, and it looks like she has like a slingshot ready to go of magic sigils.
A mage hand appears.
What would what does Matilda know of her denizen? Like, what would a mage hand look like from them, you think?
As you summon it, it's kind of this the mage hand itself, like thematically, is actually a formless mass, but a lot of people like a hand. It can be shaped like just about anything. I like the idea of like rings that just begin to continually encircle each other, and then when you have it grab something, the rings like converge down on it and just like spin or move.
Yeah, that works for me.
The mage hand moves over towards the door, hovering like, and as it reaches, all the rings just solidify on the desk drawer and slowly begin to pull in open air. As it begins to move back, the sigil on the inside ignites. The flame begins to tear up through the desk drawer itself.
Vincent will clamp down on the and keep trying to hold the freeze if he can.
Go ahead and roll. Here's what I'll say. Roll a spellcasting ability modifier check. So this will be a charisma check with proficiency. I am going to roll immolate, or immolation, which is 8d6 fire damage.
Does Vincent know that this would require him to be better at his school of magic to hold it ahead of time? Probably, right?
Yeah.
He can't cast awe on himself. It's an enchantment spell.
Right before you cast the spell, Carson leans in and is like, "Shall I do this?"
Yes.
He reaches out.
Plus 2 to that with my ring, though. So
16?
16.
Okay, your check reduced the damage of Immolate 1-1. So, I rolled 8d6. That is 31 points of damage. So as you bring this in for 16 points of damage, it is brought down to 15 points. As the ice kind of compresses down, the immolation tears through it, most of it melts away, and the desk drawer and the desk itself just becomes embroiled in flame. Over a short period of time, and with like your control of the water around it, you manage to douse the flames of the desk itself, and what remains is 1 copper key. And then you can see on the other side the ashes of another copper key, and there are several like scattered pieces of paper that are completely gone.
No.
But you managed to save 1 of these 2 keys.
I guess there's no way to know. The other key is just gone, right?
Gone, yeah.
It's just
That's
gone.
Is there like an outline, an imprint, you know, like when you burn something so fast, it leaves like, do they look identical?
I don't think it was like
yeah.
flash fried like cartoon style, but there is a small melted kind of pool of molten copper there, yes.
Okay.
Fermenting it.
Might as well give it I guess it's a break.
All of the breaks and tears on that pool of liquid copper are gone. It is a beautiful pool of liquid copper.
Okay. I guess you mage hand give that to Paka. Hopefully there were 2 sets to the same key, you know, a backup just in case you need one.
Oh, I really wanted those papers, but that's okay. We got one thing.
Well, I don't see any secret passages around here. So
Just saying, I think a catapult would have been less painful to keys and papers than fire, so just putting that out there
We
the
can
next
always
time.
come back. Also, do the rings have eyes on them, Adrian? Like, are they kind of like, do they blink? Or like, you know, the mage, like those creepy, like, angel, like,
Roll perception.
rings? Ooh. Scary. Oh, hold on. I'm a mage hand. Can you make me back to be Matilda? I think
you have to, you just like click off of the mage hand and then click Matilda when you have multiple controllable tokens. But I can't actually change who you're controlling.
That's really cool. Thank you for teaching me that. All right. You said perception, yes?
Yeah.
All right. No, do I have advantage because it's my own mage hand?
No. This is just
Oh, okay. See, I tried.
a 10. You look at the rings, but they are completely smooth surfaces.
Okay.
Like this kind of just almost celestial silver color.
Cool.
Continues to hover next to you.
So, what's our plan now?
Well, if this handkerchief is what we came for, we might as well start heading up to the 5th floor.
Is this a closet over here?
It's a door that's rested against the wall.
Oh, I see.
You can close that one and open this one. Or
Can we
close
go?
this one.
Can we go upstairs at all?
Yeah, absolutely. There's 2 sets of destroyed staircases.
Oh.
But a bit of jumping up there can make your way.
And can we go downstairs too?
There is no downstairs.
There's no downstairs. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize these were stairs. I thought they were just like little balconies that like led up to a little overlook area.
Yeah, staircases leading up to the 2nd floor. Most of the 2nd floor destroyed. Vincent, as you move over, you guys can manage to, with time, get over there. It's just like a really destroyed staircase.
It's just a look over area. Okay, so I was right.
You approach and you begin to look. You can see just general destruction.
There's nothing around, no extra rooms or anything, right?
No.
Not within the area.
No, there's just a balcony area too. It's like a loft.
Whatever was the 2nd floor here has been long since destroyed. You can't see the foundations of the 2nd floor, but the entire house has been collapsed, and the remnants of that 2nd floor almost completely gone. All you see is like these couple little piles of debris.
Is there anything around here that looks like the key would fit?
Immediately, no. With your previous investigations of the area, you're pretty certain that these keys, they look pretty specific. In fact, I believe you guys have gathered 2 of them now. And I'm fairly certain Paka has both. If any of you have a copper key in your inventory, let me know and I'll remove one from Paka. But as you are looking out and about throughout the area, and Matilda, you're like investigating the key to see if it would fit anywhere. The key itself has markings on it. You can see that they're kind of almost this like it's a very specific pattern of symbols. It's strange and indiscernible, but it's like blips and dashes. And you can see the pattern just resting along the entire interior of it.
Well, I don't know if the key is to anything here. If it were, it'd probably be like a chest or a safe, but this place has been exploded and rotting. So if there was anything in the walls, it was taken.
Matilda, what time did we see Astrid running through the ash gate in the back?
DM?
What time did you see Astrid running through the ash gate in the back?
Yeah,
Like in the...
day.
You mean through to the 4th floor?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was nighttime. It was close to the middle of the night. You guys are right now sitting at pretty much sundown.
Okay.
You want to rest here until she's supposed to show up?
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe we should try and follow her as best we can.
I'm willing to
Yeah.
partake. Carson,
Yes.
try and Vincent will look around a little bit. Put a place where we can rest together. And yourself, of course.
I'll try and see what I can do, but this is rather desolate. Some of these couches seem okay. I'll place down some upholstery. And he begins to move over towards the other side, grabbing onto couches and beginning to just drag them out. He makes for you guys a little spot over here.
Killian, if you wish, you could mend a couple things.
On it, Killian runs over. 1 minute at a time begins to cast mending over the couches in the areas until eventually Carson finds like a small set, like a set of teacups, and looks at it and is like, "Oh, not bad." Begins to move, and they just break in half, almost comedically. And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" As you all begin to set
We
up
do have
this.
Killian, though.
You guys wish to remain here. Killian heals them, and is like, "There you go," and they literally just crack down the center and break into 2 pieces. Something is doing this on purpose. As you guys sit in this abject comfort, this desolated home, drafty, dust kind of just falling
You see,
around you.
just as Vincent's about to take a seat, his shiftweed shifts back to like his normal gear. Well, wasn't any party here, but you know, sometimes it's nice to just look good.
Selenay walks up and is like, "I can't help but notice you're all standing next to the couches." And sits on one of the couches.
Oh, no, Vincent sat down. I just moved my token.
Oh, gotcha.
Matilda is sitting on the floor. I want to spend this time taking out the least shitty book and like seeing if I can find any. What was the earliest language that was spoken by the Altician faith? Was it always common?
Roll history. That's a fun question.
As you
Ancient-
like
Yeah.
looking over these books, and Vincent leans over. If at any time, I don't know, his passive insight can probably see the fact that like you can't read this, so you're trying to understand it.
Yeah.
He will look towards you and be like, "Dear, if you want to give that to me, I can read it for you."
I think that would be fantastic. If you could help me while I'm doing this, I'd appreciate it. I really want to be able to read the language without a spell, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to try something first, and then can you read it for me, please?
Well, I can point to the word and tell you what it says. Maybe you can start making an alphabet out of it, I guess. Sure. He'll reach into his side and pull out a little vial about this long.
Is anyone here proficient in history that can assist me?
Yep.
Okay.
Jojo is.
Help me, Jojo!
Yeah, I can help.
Okay.
Yay!
As you and Jojo begin to ruminate, you're like mulling over this, and Jojo offering guidance with her studies. Vincent, you pull out a vial and you begin to cast what with it?
He drinks it.
Oh, you bring out a vial, pop it open, and just chug the contents of it. Does this grant you comprehend languages?
It does.
Perfect. Your mind begins to open. Your eyes begin to glow. and as you see the weave before you move out of the way and begin to reorganize letters in your mind, you begin to learn the literal sense of the words. Matilda, you were waving? What's that?
How long do you have comprehend languages for?
An hour.
Okay, at some point I would thrust my note from Morgan into your face so you could read it to me.
Okay.
The note itself is not a language. You do not,
Oh.
you cannot discern the meaning of a cipher through comprehend languages.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Rude. Okay.
As you, Vincent, you begin to ruminate over the book, and as rumination continues throughout this entire area, Jojo and Matilda. Here's the very fun thing about this question. You try and remember the oldest spoken language of the Altician faith, or the human nature of all of this. And the oldest recorded is Celestial. Celestial is the oldest recorded language of the Altician faith. At one point in time, Celestial was common. And as you were looking over this and trying to remember, there is actually a large, as in almost all of it, portion of history that has been removed from the nature of the world. And that knowledge, alongside, as far as you recall, Jojo, a massive mystic library, had been destroyed, or so tell the stories. And with the library, so too did the knowledge be lost to time. This was nearly 250 or 300 years ago. Let me actually check the exact one. With your natural 20, you would definitely have that. 24 is pretty great.
That was at the hands of the Dianthian Empire, right?
Correct.
25.
Star. Go ahead and type in timeline. This historical event occurred 250 years before the arrival of the dungeon, so 274 years ago now. Old enough that most humans would remember this in story only, but young enough that most long-lived races may even have been there to see it happen. But it is known as the First Scouring. A time where all history of the world before the most recent arrival of the Dianthian Empire was lost. Before that, maybe common was infernal, who knows? But the oldest recorded was celestial. The longest answer to a simple question I will ever give.
What's the book about?
Nothing in particular. It's a romance novel. As you begin to read it,
Yeah, Vincent scans a couple of the pages, just leaving everyone in suspense about what it says while they're reeling through their history notes in their head. And is it a smut book, or is it just a light romance?
oh, it's quite smutty. It's called the the house hand in the stable.
Yeah, he has a straight face, nothing. You guys don't really. He flips through a couple pages and everything, and he's just I found a good part. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
he
want to
just
be.
goes straight into the meat of it. And there's some delightful bits. Vincent just keeps reading, and he won't stop until someone tells him to.
And Matilda's just meticulously looking at the getting you to slow down actually, and to point out each word and make so that each symbol matches the word that she says, or that he says, so that she has so that Matilda has a key a little bit of what words might mean.
Here's what I will say. Because you have these books, and you can kind of sit back and attempt to study them, you are beginning to make this language key for yourself. And over the course of an hour, you're pleasantly surprised with how close this is to common. There's a lot of connections to common at current, and as you begin to read into it, you can potentially learn this language. You will need to spend half the amount of time it would take to learn a different language. That'll be 125 days and 125 gold pieces, and you will be able to learn the language that is written here.
Would we need a teacher in this language?
She has the books. The books can be her study and reference materials. She has made a key for herself with Vincent's help.
As the hour starts to wind down, Vincent will glance. There's 2 or 3 more volumes here, so if anyone wants a nice bedtime story, just let me know, and we'll see if we can afford some more potions. He looks over and smiles at Celestine.
I prefer the
Selene.
red ones with better plot. These ones suck.
He just hands it over to Selene. Here, do you want to enjoy it?
No, I don't. These are yours, Matilda.
Oh, I was gonna burn it, but here.
These are still somewhat
please
valuable.
Don't burn it. Yeah, what the heck?
He hands it back over.
Knowledge
Well, is there anything else I
knowledge.
should read? I only have
You
a couple
think-
minutes left of this.
So did you say knowledge is knowledge?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes a simple answer is all you need.
I understand, but this book is in a different language, and I'm hoping to learn it. So knowledge is knowledge. I don't care if it's terribly written.
Vincent will stand up and walk over to the window, which, I guess it doesn't change the line of sight. How much longer until Astrid's here?
Ooh, hours.
Oh, I thought you said it had been hours that we had done this for.
An
You guys
hour.
have begun resting and basically like you're just kind of sitting
Ah.
back now. But as you are
Did-
all remaining here and you want to wait until midnight. It was just about sundown, so you're looking at like, well, Matilda would know the exact time. It's pretty much 6:30. And as you are all waiting, you're going to need to be here for like 5.5 hours.
Did we have enough time for a long rest or no?
Now, no.
Mm-mm.
If you wanted to make sundown, you don't have time. You do have time for another short rest if you'd like to take
I'm out of rages.
Well, sometimes therapy can deal with that, dear.
it.
Well, if I can't rage anymore, you want me to go to therapy so I can get more angry? I think that will come with experience.
I don't know if we could just see what's going on, and if it's just more store and there's not much to it, then we
Yeah.
can finish our rest here.
I mean, if we can get to the beach, if we can follow her to the beach, then we can rest there. That's not bad.
We'll see. And yeah, I don't, as my player, I don't have anything else to do for this, so I'm fine skipping forward until it happens.
Okay. If everyone is good with that, then as you all begin to rest, the sound of revelry returns. And eventually, you hear the sound of dancing. Brilliant music begins to lift. And as the tone turns a bit somber, you all sit within the home. Do you wish to remain here? It's been... Now you ascertain it's about 10 p.m.
We're gonna wait for Astrid, aren't we? Is there anything hostile happening in the home, or we're just hearing new sounds?
Sounds have changed.
That's fine. I'm
Is there
assuming
like,
this has to do with her.
is there a window where we could see the road where, in case Astrid doesn't stop by here and she just runs right past to the gate, if we could see that she doesn't stop here, is there a window?
It would be incredibly difficult. The route that she
Okay.
took was like specifically to not be noticed.
Okay, okay.
So like the one time you would potentially be able to see her was if she ran past the gate, and that would be incredibly difficult from where you are right now.
Okay. Do we want to go out there then? I didn't realize we couldn't. I thought she ran by this area. I was confused.
It's okay. We could go somewhere where we could have a better vantage point.
'Cause that's
can
the
just
whole
wait by
point
the
of this,
gate.
is to follow Astrid. If we miss that, then there's no point in being here.
Yeah, let's go wait by the gate then.
Okay. Exiting the manor, you all make your way towards the gate, and you await nighttime on the eastern side of the Sun Gate. I'll leave you on this map for rolls.
As you guys all go to leave, Vincent's gonna stop for a second, actually. Do you guys mind if I stay?
Like for a little bit, or
Yes. I think there might be something that maybe triggers here. The sounds and everything might be related in some way. It's kind of like the grave. I think two things happen at once.
oh, okay.
Are you gonna be able to get to us? Are you gonna be okay?
I think we should probably stick together.
I'll just maybe one other stay with me. Selin, do you want to stay, or would you rather be you, Matilda?
To be honest, I feel like Selin would be more useful to you than me if we were left here by ourselves. As much as I'd love to see what happened in here.
She says, for the most part, I can hit things, but I'm pretty tapped for magic. And then she looks at you, Vincent, and gives you a knowing look.
Well, I think it's still valuable. We can watch each other's back. Everyone else, stay close. I can always distance cast my messages to you.
Okay.
Or you can just take this. She takes out a sending stone and hands it to you.
You got another one?
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
I won't ask. Doesn't sound like
Yeah.
a good time.
Fucking pencil. She doesn't wash out.
So yeah, Vincent and Selin will stay in here, and the rest can head down to the gate.
Okay. Where do you remain?
Me?
Yeah, like where are you in? Just chilling in the...
I think, I don't know, we'll just stand in the middle of the room to get a good viewpoint of everything and basically keep on watch.
Okay.
Vincent will try and read the vibes of the room and just see how things are going. So,
As the rest of you leave and you take your position by the gate, you are resting near the sun gate. And looking out throughout the pathway, you begin to hear footsteps moving about. You can hear a ruckus happening in the distance at the cathedral on the other side. The one that you had previously rested in and have now left. And Vincent and Selene, as you remain here in the center of the room, you can hear the footsteps begin to pick up until eventually they move in this ornate dance. You can hear maybe a dozen footsteps, some of which resounding more heavily than others. And the longer you remain, once it hits an hour, 11 o'clock, 1 hour until Astrid runs by, the people begin to alight. You see ghostly forms appear and begin to dance in a 3-step waltz around you, like a
Does he
constant
recognize the dance?
driving party. Roll. This would be history. You have performance proficiency, so you may... Actually, no, roll performance. If you have history proficiency, you have advantage.
21.
Far as you can tell, this is elvish. You've only seen these movements a few times, and you've seen them through, like, Tristan... Or not Tristan.
Theo.
Seen them through Theo's movements in the theater as he's, like, talking about his next performances and moving across the stage. This is an elvish dance.
He looks towards Selin, and in the back of the head, do you recognize this dance? It's of elvish descent.
We didn't dance where it come from.
Understandable. Does Vincent think, like, looking at everyone dancing around him, if him and Selin started dancing along with this, help or hinder this situation?
As you are standing, the figures continue to rise until eventually you see two, more embellished than the rest, dancing together in the open air in the faint moonlight that is pouring in through the massive open windows in the back in front of this broken statue. And as they are dancing in full step, the doorways burst open and the music comes to an abrupt stop. You see villagers at the door, raising torches. You see the two look towards each other knowingly, and then look back towards the door with an almost dread, looking directly through you and Selene, like you're not even there. The two turn and they begin to make their way through the door. As they begin to walk down the pathway, Selene like takes a sidestep out of the way so that they can get through.
Yeah, Vincent will join. He's interested to see what's going on, but he's not going to try to stop anyone.
The rest of the apparitions look on in surprise, and eventually they all begin to join this large mob of people. The rest of you begin to just see on the... as you are resting in the gate, you can see torches begin to alight on the outside of the manor as they begin to travel south from the current gate's position, and then they begin to go towards the other side, the moon. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They actually begin to travel towards you guys at the sun gate. As they begin to walk, you can see a mob of maybe 12 people and these two nobles that have begun to take root. As Vincent and Selene, you are now left within the desiccated manor alone.
And all we saw as the villagers came in, they basically ransacked this area and broke up the party and took the two nobles that were dancing there out of the
No,
manor?
no, I'll stop you there. The villagers showed up with torches in hand. The nobles looked towards each other and willingly joined the villagers. The rest of the people at the party also just turned and began to make their way with the mob through the city, or through the courtyard, until eventually they are heading now towards the Sun Gate.
The two ones that joined them that looking knowingly at each other, were those the two that we saw when we were hunkered down in the fields inside of the carriage? There was like two people that stood out that looked like nobility, and the
What-
rest were just like peasants.
As the people apparate, you recognize them a few times over. They are the two who were just crushed by chains. They are the two who were walking through the courtyard previously that had turned into owlbears, these just monstrous forms of themselves. But now, as you see them in this ghostly apparition, they look the most human they ever have. You see a man standing with a large stature and a port belly with kind of this just finely trimmed black beard that comes down to a point. And you see a woman who's incredibly tall and lithe with a haircut that kind of like just this big, almost beehive haircut at the top, both of which wearing finery to the point where they're peacocked to the maximum. You see frills, you see clothes that just puff outwards and fine silks. And as they pass through the area and reach the threshold of the door, they travel.
Shall we follow? I don't think there's anything else here.
Yeah, let's go. This whole mansion might blow up at midnight. I don't know. Let's get out of here.
It's weird. Like I said before, this is almost... It's interesting. There's things from different cultures back home. They're all different in a way.
Everything here seems like a twisted form of something. It's odd. The hell is this place? She like looks up towards the sky. The two of you begin to move. Do you go ahead of the group, or do you stay behind and do you notify the others? Because they have basically just seen torches alight in the distance and move their direction.
Yeah, I was literally just waiting for you to finish, and I was going to take the settings still out and send a message to Jojo. The mob villagers came into the house, took the nobles, are heading your way. Mob approaches, following them behind.
You're following them?
He said following them behind, and then I guess you responded with following them.
You're following them? Should we meet at the Ash Gate?
How many sending charges do I have? Can I respond?
You have
3 a
three.
day.
You each have 3.
Okay.
So this counts as only one from Vincent's.
He'll send another one. Yes, we're on our way.
Okay.
Okay, you begin to run. I'll ask just one more time. Are you running ahead of them or are you remaining behind them?
I think we'll remain behind them, following them, kind of.
The mob begins to move, still this just ghostly apparition. And they continue to trudge along the pathway. As they begin to light torches and share them amongst each other, they reach the Sun Gate, where you can see, though it's open, like you're kind of standing on the other side of it right now, Jojo and Matilda and Killian and the rest, they pay no mind to you. As you are watching them, as they approach, the gate boom, slams shut aggressively, and you hear it lock. Just in time for them to approach, you see the noble pull out one of the keys that you yourself are holding, Jojo, and then puts it in the lock to unlock it, throwing the sun door open, and just begins to move through the area. As they pass by you, this large mob funnels down, and outside the cathedral, where you had previously heard the commotion, you see several more people stride up the road, meet with the mob, and continue out of your sight to the south.
So we haven't seen Astrid at all?
You have not. This is an hour before Astrid is supposed to be there.
Okay. Well, should we stay here and wait for Astrid or follow the mob?
I think we should stay here and wait for Astrid.
Yeah, I think we should stay here.
Okay.
Where are you guys? What are you doing? You have just witnessed the...
We're waiting for Astrid.
Okay. As you wait the additional hour, the mob leaves your sight, moves down south towards the fields, as you had previously seen them traversing through the city. You basically have painted their entire pathway now. As you know, they begin here. At the very least, the mob approaches here. You're not entirely sure where the mob comes from in the first place. But as the entire group of people coalesce here, speaking with the two nobles at this manor, they then traverse through the city, the eastern gate, ending up at the northern entrance to the front of Somme, and then traveling down into the fields, and presumably from there returning to wherever they go. As you wait for Astrid, there's a good 40 more minutes of silence this cold night, until eventually you see her. Dressed somewhat disheveled, running through, making her way. She runs past you, and in full clarity, you see her now. That's
Is
just...
she holding anything?
She has this hair immediately inset with, previously bound very well, now down as she is running. She's almost this faint. You can slightly see through her translucently as she runs in this bare feet. Is she holding anything? She is not. As she's running through the area, she makes her way towards the back at the 4th floor entrance of the forest and begins to move in.
Okay, we'll follow.
She reaches the outer edge of the perimeter of this gorgeous mansion and its lands, and then begins to make her way down the side of the cliff steps towards the massive open cliff cleft. As she runs through, you once again see that small little entrance to the side, blood streaks leading in, and Astrid takes a moment to stop and stare at it with a look of pure bewilderment, confusion, and fear before she takes a few steps away, watching it, and then continues her pathway into the forest. As she passes by, once again, all color is lost, and you guys make your way into the 4th floor. She runs a pathway for a time. You guys continue to follow her into the forest. A day of travel passes. You guys have not long rested here. I need you each, if you intend to continue following her, to roll 2.
Does she not long rest? Like, does she just keep going? Like,
She just rested at an inn, yo. As you guys are running, she is following this pathway. If you want to continue chasing her, I will need 2 Constitution saving throws, DC 11 and 12.
Oh no.
Barbarians aren't known for their
I'll use my
anyway.
inspiration.
Okay.
To reroll that one.
Okay, I'm good.
What do we have to beat?
11 for the first roll, 12 for the second.
Oh, dope.
Oh,
seriously?
because of failed blow.
No way.
Oof.
So that's only the first one. Jojo, you succeeded the second one. So Jojo, you have 1.
Are you rolling with advantage? Because I saw 2 dice.
I use my inspiration.
Matilda, you have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Yikes, okay.
Let me go ahead and apply this. Jojo,
So
you
your
have 1 level of
speed
exhaustion.
is not halved, luckily. I don't think. Let me see.
No, that's 3 levels, I think.
You just have to.
No, second level speed is halved.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
So I don't know. Can we keep up still?
She's moving. She's not running, sprinting. If you guys dash, you can still manage to keep up with her.
Okay.
Selene gains another level of exhaustion, and Paka gains another level of exhaustion. Did you roll for Killian, Vincent?
I did not. I'll do so.
Exhaustion is the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killian's fine.
Oh no.
Then
Killian
Killian's not
gains
fine.
Killian gains 1 level of exhaustion. Running through the forest, as you follow Astrid, there seem to be no mention of the monsters in the corners, with their eyes peering upon you, until you reach the outer area of the first Forest of Ash entrance. Give me a moment here to just open the map up. Excellent. You make your way into the entrance of the Forest of Ash. As you continue running, you pass by until you reach the area where you begin to hear the ticking. Or at least you did previously. Following Astrid, she pulls a small pocket watch out from her, like the corner of her bra, and begins to look into the watch itself, staring down towards it. And just as she opens it, you can hear it just broken. She clasps it shut, just holds it in her hand with mad frustration, throws it to the ground, and as it just hits, you see it dig directly into the ash as though the ash is not there, but it just hits the ground. The ash is completely undisturbed as it continues falling around you, and she continues running.
I think we should keep following her and leave the thing, right?
I don't see any
Jojo
reason to
follows.
stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jojo just follows.
You continue running. She does not make it much further, because as you continue running, right before you reach the large, towering trees, where you had previously just traversed the canopy and fought the strange plant monster, she is surprised. A figure darts out from behind one of the trees and grabs her by the shoulder. You see them wearing armor. And as they look on towards her, they begin to speak in a foreign language that you do not recognize.
Is it the one we've been slowly trying to learn?
Judging by what you guys have gained so far, indeed.
Can
Very
we
so.
try to at least glean anything from it, based on the knowledge that we've done so far?
With
Like maybe
what
even a word or so?
with what you have, a DC 25 investigation. Are either of you capable of succeeding that one?
Not me.
Yes.
I don't know about Matilda and Jojo.
Okay. Matilda, you may roll investigation.
Okay.
I am capable, but I don't think that you were counting me as.
I think anyone who wants to roll can roll, right, Adrian?
Yeah, in this case for sure. Everyone can hear them.
And I can't be guided because it's too quick. I'm assuming.
Oh,
Ooh,
so close.
Adrian can't be guided too
Oh,
fast.
let's dex this one as well. Throw dex on. Because the fact that this is possible is exciting.
Throw Dex on top.
Roll dexterity to see if you can guide yourself fast enough, basically.
Okay. All right.
I'll apply this as DC 15.
So dex save.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do
Did
a
I
dex
do
save
the
first.
same with Eureka?
You may. Roll dexterity. 19. Matilda, you guide yourself.
Oh, bad.
Jojo, you have left this floor. So
My light bulb. Actually, can we say Jojo drops her light bulb? I didn't think that's funny.
It just lands in the dust on the ground.
20. Oh, frack.
Ah, so
Oh
close.
wow. Ugh.
You guys listening, you do not understand the nature of the words. The language is simply too new.
It wasn't horny enough. That's why I didn't understand.
You begin to listen in. Jojo, you have your hand.
What does this person look like? The person she stopped by?
Let me go ahead and pop open.
Do we know who this person is?
Also, which forest are we in right now? Are we in the frigid forest?
No, it's the one right before the plant monster.
Right
We had
before
to climb
the
up into
right
the
before the
trees.
canopy.
Okay.
As you approach, the soldiers that meet Astrid are Enthian soldiers. The very same kind of banners that you had seen in the open warfare later on in the very same floor. As they stop her, she seems hysterical, but they are not really portraying any form of violence. They kind of grab her by the arms and begin to speak to her, and you can see that as they converse back and forth, she looks incredibly just shocked and bewildered and surprised. And then two other soldiers kind of approach from the side and begin to talk to her. They don't continue in the pathway that you guys had previously passed through this floor. They begin to go south along a different pathway. Do you continue following them?
Yes.
Yes.
Can Vincent cast detect thoughts on her during this conversation? I know he can't understand her, but maybe he can glean feelings and just try and piece together stuff a little bit more. Or maybe the fact that he can detect the thoughts, maybe it'll be more comprehensible for him.
As you move in and you begin to cast detect thoughts, you begin to listen in, and in her mind, though again, let me check detect thoughts. Do you gain any form to understand them if they do not speak your language?
It just says you initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature. What is the most on their mind in the moment? As an action, you can shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind.
So the surface thoughts on her are hectic. She's making no attempt to disguise that. Her mind is frantic, and the words, though you don't understand them, are scattered. There seems to be several different thought trains as far as you can discern, because they seem to be clashing with each other. Like someone being like, like fighting with yourself on the inside of the mind. But as you are, do you attempt to dig deeper?
He will. They have to roll a save, I think. Wisdom saving throw, yeah. Or no, int.
Intelligence saving.
Versus, I think it's a verse thing. Target must make a...
It's a wisdom saving throw.
If it fails, you gain insight, yeah. So the DC's...
She fails. As you begin to dig into her mind, she does not, like, turn her attention towards you. She does not pay any mind to you. You do not exist to her in this moment. As you are listening in, her thoughts, her deep thoughts, are angry and scared. Her mind state is just crushed. She is hanging on by a thread. You can feel the desire for hope. And as she is being kind of like carted away, it seems, by these soldiers, who are not in any way aggressive towards her, her mind is just on thoughts of freedom. You guys continue following Astrid. You make your way to a cliffside, incredibly windy. As the wind begins to push against you, you can also see the figures standing and kind of shielding Astrid from this blowing wind, one of which takes off their tabard and throws it over top of her to shield her from the cold. As you begin to follow them down the twisting pathways, you make your way eventually over the course of another several hours. I need 2 more Constitution saving throws. These will be 13 and 14.
These people don't get sleepy.
Come on, be better.
Vincent, you succeed both.
I've only rolled 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. The second one was Jojo. Jojo, you succeed both.
I failed the second one.
Vincent, you gain 1 more level of exhaustion. Or 1 level of exhaustion. And Matilda, 15. That passes. And the first one, you gain 1 more level of exhaustion. So you were at 2, yes? You're at 3
Yeah,
now.
no, I'm at 3.
As you guys are just trudging aggressively through and just keeping stride with Astrid, you all make your... Oh, I gotta roll for killing. I'll do that quickly here, just twice. I have it up already. Once. Killian succeeds the first one.
Oh, I just rolled for Killian, that's fine. But you can use yours.
Well, we'll just take your second one for the second one. So Killian gains 1 more level of exhaustion. You are all... Your muscles are burning. Your legs are creaking. Your back is aching. But you continue trudging down this solid pathway until you reach a thicket of trees equidistant from each other. Entirely unnatural and strange. Somewhat tall, some thicker, some thinner, but all 15 feet exactly in height. And as they traverse through this alien landscape, eventually they reach a small camp where they place themselves down and they begin to rest. As they lay down, they begin to stoke the flames, and Astrid stands before the knights stand again, with hands raised, and they begin to speak to each other, just keeping her from leaving. And eventually she, like, in a huff, sits back down at the camp, and then the soldiers begin to speak to each other back and forth.
You think we're safe to rest?
Now is a time as good as any. Some of you aren't looking too well, so try to get some shut-eye. I'll take the first watch.
Yeah, we should definitely keep an eye out to make sure. I have a feeling she's gonna run away before.
She's got to be as exhausted as we are. She's been out as long as we have. And she doesn't have a bond, so
Yeah.
she's still standing.
Okay, I'll sleep while I can. Just
Vincent's going to summon his sentry. to help him because he's pretty exhausted. He'd have a lower ability to keep watch.
Sentry appears, this just flaming horse of tight demonic
Blue
skin.
flames.
Thank you. And as it appears, this kind of like wing, almost winged dress along the rear side of it. Go ahead and roll perception with advantage for your first one.
I would have disadvantage, and now I have neutral.
Okay.
$20.
Yeah, you were at your first level. 20. Within... It's about an hour in. The guards begin to take their own rest, some of which sitting back. Astrid, with only one guard remaining, stands. They begin to converse, and eventually the guard stands, grabs a spear, and alongside Astrid begins to move out into the forest, away from the camp. What do you do?
He'll wake the group. I'm moving.
Okay. Think they're just gonna watch him? Yeah, we should follow. This is definitely her trying to trick them into running away, right?
I don't know, but this is stupid for her.
Yeah, let's go.
You all begin to leave, following after the individuals. As they reach the outer area, Astrid reaches towards the side of one of these strange equidistant trees and turns back towards the guard, and the guard turns around and begins to move off to the side. Astrid takes 10 feet away, 15 feet away, and just begins to run off. The guard turns around immediately and begins to take chase. He looks like he's about to catch her. The guard begins to run, taking full stride. You can see the movements of this honed soldier catching up to Astrid and her bare feet on the forest floor in no time. But as he is moving, in the side of the trees, you see a spear come in, right through the neck. The soldier, eviscerated through the front, falls to the ground, and from the side of this just strange assortment of trees, a Lodumnian soldier enters into the fray and looks down towards them. Astrid, looking over to the side, sees this happen and lets out a shriek. You hear immediately the sound of footprints of the soldiers who were in the camp before, running in this way. As more soldiers begin to encircle Astrid and grab onto her, she begins to speak to them. And over the course of a brief moment, she tears off the Enthian tabard that she was wearing, throwing it to the ground and pointing back towards the soldiers, and the Lodumnian soldiers take her under their arm, one of which takes her and begins to move alongside her out of this section of forest. What do you do?
Follow. You guys want to follow, or you
assessing the situation that we're in? Does it feel like they're just gonna go find somewhere to camp soon, or are they gonna probably
roll insight?
She's got to be exhausted. Oh, it's an 11.
11. Astrid seems exhausted, but that's really the only insight I can give you. How much at current what you've seen her travel is 4 or 5 hours, which for anybody is exhausting. But her running from the Wayside Inn to her home through the city and to here has only been about 5 hours of travel. She could run 3 more hours if she had to without beginning to collapse. And even then, she could run 5 more before stopping completely.
Are you guys free to continue? I'm good to put in a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. This Constitution saving throw will be, you roll 1 more, and it will be DC, you guys have run 4, 15. A DC 15 Constitution saving throw. Jojo, you just succeed. Vincent, you suffer 1 more level of exhaustion. You are now at 2.
If any of my patrons are listening, please let me pass.
I don't know if this can work anymore. Can you inspire someone after they've already rolled? And we know the outcome?
In this instance, no.
Okay.
As you guys continue to run, Matilda, you were at...
I'm at 4.
You're
So she'd be at 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
boy.
at 4 levels of exhaustion.
Well,
So now
My
you
hit
also...
point maximum is halved.
is halved.
well,
Yeah.
shit.
As you guys are running, and you almost begin to collapse. You chase after Astrid as they reach another encampment. You follow your way through until eventually you return to near the entrance. You find the area, that strange area where the trees had been but just dancing throughout the dancing pass. And here, the soldiers take their own rest, alongside Astrid, where they reach a small contingency of 15, 20 soldiers that have been traveling through the area. Making passage, you can see a small camp that had been built up. And as they rest with Astrid, they all sit down around a large campfire. They all gather, and they begin to look upon her. Several bring themselves down to one knee. And then a knight strides forward, static, completely encasing their body, almost invisible. All of you can feel a weight, a pressure from this knight, especially in his approach.
Is it
But
the
it's
knight on the
humble.
big bird that we saw before?
You cannot see any visual information from this, but it's just a body of static. You can see this kind of just masculine form striding forward, and then as they reach up towards Astrid, they take a small flower from their lapel and they hand it to her. She holds on to it. The knight turns and walks their way away and just flitters away, as though erased from a memory. And then here, they begin to rest. You can hear the sound of muffled screams in the distance. And over time, the soldiers that had previously taken to attack the Deviants in their sleep return. Blood across their spears, and they begin to rest. Here, you are safe to take a long rest.
Oh.
As you look onward, the soldiers are literally keeping the creatures of the area at bay by moving out towards the outer area and just stabbing into the darkness.
Nice. Shadow Watch.
So what I've learned from this is we just need to really train our cardio.
Jojo, shut the fuck up, please.
And on that note, that is where we'll end today's session. A perfect line to end it on. As you all begin to take rest, you may have a long rest, and also, your guys' tattoos feeling a little bit tingly.
Oh.
Oh no. No, we gotta.
Oh, no.
I guess as long as we know the time that it is, we can always come back.
Yeah.
'Cause we just gotta maybe make it to the 5th floor and then
Does this
rope back
place
out.
count as a haven or not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Until next time, thank you all for coming and enjoying this little piece of a tale with us. Bye,
Well-
everybody.
See ya. We'll figure out Astrid stuff soon. Don't worry.
Will you? Sure.